Welcome, everyone, to Just Another WoW Show. My name is Eric, and I am 1/3 of your nerd on this show. With me, we have a special guest this week. We have Alex or Hernix, either or, as I might switch between this show, calling him one or the other. Say hi, Alex.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Awesome. So, I will be letting you guys know what he's doing on the show this week, but not yet. I want to introduce one other guy on the show. We have with us Andre behind the scenes here.
Creeper. Hey, guys.
Yeah, he's our little stalker, just watches us do what we do on this show, and that's talk nothing but World of Warcraft. Now, this week, I have Alex with us, and he's actually a local in this area. That's why he's here. I didn't fly him out or fly him in from anywhere.
Just flew in from Alaska, eh?
So this week he's here to talk about guild leading and raid leading, and also we're going to take his opinions on some Warlords of Draenor stuff, see if he has any. So first thing, I want to start off by saying, talking about 11K Industries. 11K Industries is and we're going to pull it up here so you guys can see their site. This is 11K Industries, and they're a custom case manufacturer. If we go and check out their portfolio, we can check out some of the custom cases that they've been building.
Sick.
Yeah, they're definitely doing some great work over there.
If only I could afford it.
Well, they are very great with their pricing. They definitely will work with you. You can either use their cases that they prefer to use and manufacture with. You can send the request and just let them know, like, this is what I'm looking for. Go ahead and reach out to them, and they'll work with you. If you want just like a custom feet for your case, I don't know, you need some new legs on those things. They will fabricate those for you and get them out to you. That's 11K Industries. Thanks, guys. Now, Alex, got a couple questions for you.
Oh, no.
So first off, when did you start WoW? Like, what's your background so we know the knowledge that you possess?
The knowledge I possess. All right. Well, I actually started off playing Warcraft and went from Warcraft right into this brilliant game that Blizzard had come up with that was online and great to play. But yeah, I've been there from the beginning. I've watched WoW evolve and devolve. And,
there are those times.
Yeah. But yeah, since beta.
Awesome, dude. Well, so you've definitely been through the ringer with all this stuff. So specifically, when did you start raid leading?
I actually started raid leading in BC.
In BC?
Yeah.
That was actually a really fun time for raiding.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. People actually worked on knowing their roles and actually made sure that they showed up for raids and were accountable for themselves. Yeah. It was a great time for World of Warcraft. Everyone was still, friendly.
Yeah, the community wasn't as toxic. Now, you're talking about like attendance and all that stuff and actually knowing what's going on. Did you use DKP back then?
Yeah, actually, we did use Dragon Kill Points.
Dragon Kill Points.
Oh, come on. Anyone who hated DKP just didn't get very much of it.
Yeah, they just didn't follow the rules.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to spend 8 hours of my day in MC back in the day.
Well, see, the thing is that when everybody actually followed the rules, we didn't spend 8 hours in MC. We spent like 4.
That's still a long time.
That's why you put. It's not that long.
Yeah, we raid 3 hours.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Sundays, and then another 3 hours Mondays and Wednesdays, and then another 3 hours on Friday. So, pretty much 6 days a week we're raiding.
Yeah, and so what about guild leading? Like, when did you start doing that?
I actually started guild leading in Wrath. BC, I did a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, I would help out with stuff because I was a raid leader. So it automatically fell to me to make sure that, people were actually showing up, signing up, showing up as actually, they were going to be there instead of just tentative, stuff like that. But after a while, I started actually gaining concern for what was going on with the guild itself. Yeah. What's going on with our repairs, because, while you're raiding, guild repairs are everything.
Yeah, if people have to like stop, like I don't have the gold to keep going. Someone can you loan me gold?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a great system, especially now with like the guild banks to where they allow X amount of gold to be used for that. Now then, how do you guys recruit for your guilds? Like, what are you using? What tools?
I actually use an add-on that, well, mainly use an add-on that scans the who list within WoW. It's called Super Guild Invite. If anybody wants to use it, be very careful.
Why?
It's just because it invites the person to the guild and then it whispers them.
Oh.
So more people are inclined to immediately reject it. I've just taken to just whispering them using it.
Okay.
With like a default whisper, like, hey, Penumbra, level 25 guild, looking to recruit raiders, PvPers, just general gatherers.
Okay, so your guys' guild does a plethora of things, like not just raiding?
Yeah, we actually touch on every aspect of WoW.
Wow, okay.
Like just the people that just want to be in a guild for, the friendly contact, the ability to level with other people in dungeons, or just run transmog, compete in competitions that we hold.
You guys hold competitions?
Actually, yes. We hold a couple competitions a month, and it's usually some kind of gathering competition or some kind of transmog competition.
Okay. So, like, what are the prizes?
We actually, our last competition, we had a couple sky golems, and yeah,
Nice.
yeah. We actually, we try and make it interesting. We did an ore farming competition, and it was just straight ore because the guild needed gems. We actually clocked in over 1,000 gems,
Wow.
like
Holy
in total.
moly.
That's after breaking down the 10,000 ore. Either way, yeah. I mean, we had myself and a couple of the other officers competed as well, and we kind of had a little too much fun. So.
There's no such thing. You're playing with friends. You can never have too much fun.
Yeah,
well.
and that's something that I always am pushing for. Anytime we talk about how people, what do I do to stay involved in WoW? Why should I be playing WoW? Why shouldn't I go play WildStar or any of these games? And my biggest thing for me is, yeah, the biggest thing for me is where are your friends at? What are your friends doing? Because that's going to be what really makes you play the game. So,
I mean, look at what Trevor did to us. I mean, he got us into PvP, and now we all have a blast.
oh yeah, PvPing, like there's been nights like I've been playing since whenever that South Park episode came out.
Oh God.
I've been playing since then, and I have never PvP'd until a month ago,
Really?
2 months ago.
Wow.
And I'm 3 pieces away from full conquest
Yeah,
cap
you're
right now.
way more dedicated than I am, man.
And it's so much fun. Like I can't explain. Like it was always so intimidating because it was so much more fast. It was a faster pace than PvE. So it always was like, my
I don't know,
latency. I'm too lazy. I don't want to click that fast. I don't want to do all these keybinds. I just want my 12 buttons. I don't want to do this. Yeah. And then I got a noggin and just completely changed my world.
I don't know. Seeing you chase down monks when you really hated monks is just epically funny. I mean, you have lost us some battlegrounds because of that, but it's funny, though. It's all worth it.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I have this. I started PvPing, and I started going through, and I can beat any class, except for the healing ones because you can't.
Yeah.
I cannot beat any monk. Tank monk, Windwalker monk. Monks piss me off. So I started doing all this research, and we have a group of friends that play WoW with us. We have a Google Hangouts where we all kind of talk and communicate.
Okay.
And we were all playing. I took a second away from we're doing this BG, and I was just getting owned left and right. And I'm like, ah! So
within an hour, our Bleeding Hollow, which is the name of our guild currently right now on Google Hangouts, blew up. I had to shut off the notifications he was posting that many times.
Oh, wow.
I mean, within an hour, I must have seen 35, 40 hits of just,
Wow.
oh, I hate monks, Mistweaver, Brewmaster, Windwalker, they all suck. Ah.
it wasn't just raging. I actually was like linking to everybody, like all the articles I was
No, I'm
reading.
I'm
I
pretty
was
sure it
linking
was
their
rage.
tooltips.
No.
I was like,
Oh, wow.
so this spell, when they do this, you don't do this, and I was like really breaking it down. And I'm like, if I'm gonna spend the time to learn this, I know everyone else is gonna be as angry as I am at some point.
If I could have
so I'm
uninvited
gonna
him-
try and like alleviate some people from that stress.
If I could have removed him from our chat, I would have at that point. I was that annoyed.
You can't remove the guild leader.
Uh-oh.
But you know what, man? What I'd like to know, though, about you is, what are your struggles with raid leading and how do you overcome them, man?
Struggles with raid leading.
So what can
Besides death?
besides wipes? Yeah.
Whoa! Why do we gotta go so extreme, man?
Well, because that's what everybody immediately thinks about when they think about raiding and struggles with raiding. How many times does the group wipe?
Yeah, one wipe. Oh, you guys don't know what you're doing. Bye.
Well, see,
Oh,
maybe
wow,
it's just because
yeah.
I play Dark Souls 2 so much that I'm used to dying and failing over and over and over and over again. It doesn't affect me too much.
You know, I actually beat that game in 22 minutes.
I hate you because there was an exploit on that, and for anybody who does that, I commend you for doing that, but I hate you dearly.
It was so much fun to walk through walls. Anyway,
1 second, real quick. Can you turn my highs down?
Sure, man. I got you.
I keep hearing myself whistle. All right, so that's a little too much. Turn it up a little more. And here we go.
all right.
All right. So now I shouldn't hear myself high pitch. Hey, go ahead. So what?
Yeah.
Struggles with rating. Struggles with rating.
Pretty much the biggest struggle that we have with raiding, I'd imagine, is just DPS, really.
Yeah.
It's a matter of people being able to move and stay out of the AoE crap on the ground and still be able to sustain the DPS requirements that we need for normal or flex or whatever. Like for a flex level, you need about 750k consistent DPS. For normal, you need like 1 million, 1.2, depending on the boss.
Yeah.
It's really everything comes down to DPS. Tanks and healers, that's if they know what they're doing, everything else is the DPS. It's actually a lot more important than a lot of people give it credit for.
Yeah, there's the one thing that I've gone through normal mode and started a little bit of heroic mode, and I just came to the conclusion that heroic mode is just not my style of play. It's a little too involved for me, but one of the things with DPSing, especially as a paladin, we have a lot of utility. We have a lot of spells that we can use. There's always different ways to avoid damage or help other people avoid damage, and it's a lot of communication. But yeah, anything to alleviate the stress on the healers means that they can focus on just getting the tanks healed up, and then it's just avoid damage as much as possible to alleviate stress.
I got to say, Healbot, since I use it religiously,
Oh gosh.
and I have used it without Healbot, and I don't really have an issue with it, but Healbot does make the life of a healer easier, which is why I went to DPS for like a hunter. And I have to agree with you, Alex. When I was a DPS, I did not realize, because as a healer, I'm watching the health of everybody and I can heal people, but really my whole job is just to move out of the crap, and it's easy. I move and I heal. I move and I heal, and I have a lot of flexibility. Well, as a DPS, sometimes you get so involved with trying to move everywhere that you move too much, and all of a sudden you're caught in some sort of big old lightning hit, or
Yep.
Your DPS drops. Or
your
something.
DPS drops, and you're not paying attention. Now you're freaking out because your health is dropping too low. You're always constantly paranoid. And then I'm like, I'm going back to healing. Screw this. This is just too much work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot involved in it, and it's one of the things that that I actually really enjoy about WoW. Melee DPS, I cannot stand casting.
Oh really?
I cannot do casting
Traitor.
DPS.
It's usually the opposite. A lot of people enjoy casting and they can't stand melee.
Yeah, I love because it's active. Like I'm constantly moving
Yep.
around. I can continue to do my damage even when I'm dodging and stuff. And the only thing that sucks, like paladins for me, they don't have the mobility that I don't know, feral cats do or warriors do. They can leap everywhere and they can charge everywhere and pounce and all that stuff. Paladins, we just have to run.
Yeah, basically.
That's the one thing that sucks, but
It is pretty iconic, seeing this huge holy band coming at you with a giant sword bashing your face. And come on, that's the, that's the Alliance and the Horde wrapped in together. Either way you look at it, it started off with the Alliance, and now the Horde's got it. And now you're like, oh, this is kind of scary. An orc with tusks, with a big old sword and a holy little symbol. That's messed up. This guy can't be good.
I would love to be an orc paladin.
What, you
Really?
can't be an orc
I would
paladin?
love to be an orc. No,
Personally,
could.
Tauren and Blood Elf.
I bet you could be an orc paladin.
No,
No.
Tauren and Blood
Wow.
Elf.
Okay, never
They're
mind.
the only two on the Horde.
For all you viewers, I am
Yeah.
mildly retarded today.
I actually
I would enjoy it.
I prefer the warlock. You talk about being able to move and still do
Yeah.
things. That's
Dude, yeah.
all I'm about.
Oh, also, as a side note, sorry to interrupt you guys. For all you viewers out there, it looks like Twitch's chat feature is down. So if you have any questions, please direct them via email, and I will try to get back to you. But for whatever reason, I cannot get it to load up today.
Okay. Well, that's a good point to say that if you do have any comments or concerns that you want to give to us, you can email us at justanotherwowshow@gmail.com. Or you can also check us out on YouTube, and it's Just Another WoW Show. You can find the channel there, and you can leave any comments. This video will be up in a couple hours on there, the replay, as I guess we can call it.
Yeah.
You can also see our previous episodes there as well. You can also check us out on Twitter. Are we still doing that, Andre?
Yes, but lately I was getting stuff ready to post on there, and then
Excuses.
I
So
know.
no, it hasn't been active, but we are looking to make it an active tool we use.
You're such a meanie.
So some of the DPS is the concern that you guys have. It's one of the struggles you guys deal with.
Well, I mean, it's not really a struggle.
Okay.
See, it's an issue for our second group in some aspects. It really depends on the night. But we work on that stuff. We hold flexes and other events just to help people work on the DPS.
Really?
And I've actually, and I wanted to comment on this because I've heard about people just sending tanks, healers, and DPS to the proving grounds and just saying, okay, well, when you're gold, you can run with us, or when you're silver, everything is okay. You're good enough to go. Well, the problem is that if those people don't actually know what the rotation is and don't actually know what they're doing improperly, proving grounds is not going to do anything but smash their face in.
Yeah.
And then they're just going to get discouraged.
Yeah.
So we actually we have a vent server, of course. Every guild needs a 25-man vent server. End of discussion.
Yeah.
That's like 70% of our actual communication is going on in vent.
Yeah.
There's almost always somebody in vent. There's almost always one of the officers in vent just for questions or for anything really. But yeah, I mean, I grab tunes, players. I say, hey, let's get in vent. Let's talk about this. We go over rotations, get together in game, practice on training dummies, practice on mobs, go run instances, whatever it takes.
Wow. So you guys actually, when you guys recruit players, you're not just recruiting like the cream of the crop, the people that already know what they're doing?
We're recruiting genuine people. We don't look for, I mean, knowing your role to a certain extent is important because then it takes less time to get, the person ready. But we're looking for people who are actually trustworthy, that are actually going to show up for raiding. Like we actually took somebody who had never actually tanked before. She wanted to tank. She had been, tanking in low-level content. When I say she hadn't tanked before, I meant like end game content.
Okay.
And now she's raiding end game content, and she's doing it well.
Yeah, you guys got to, what, Malkarok?
Yeah, we're on, I think...
and this is, so you guys have two raid teams. You guys have...
Yeah, we have a primary and a secondary raid team.
Okay, and she's on the secondary team?
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually, in normal, we've cleared, I think, to Galacris, not Malkarok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on our main raid group, we've cleared to Siegecrafter.
Nice.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Siegecrafter's a beast. Let me tell you.
Hey,
gonna
man,
be
you know what?
fun.
I'm still...
Get ready Sunday.
Sunday.
Hey, I'm still...
Tonight.
Yeah,
I'm still
oh
doing
shit.
Flex, man.
Yeah, it
It
is
is
Sunday,
tonight.
isn't it? Oh,
Oh, hey, so apparently I have a raid tonight.
yeah. Come on, man.
Dude, yeah, I am so bad with my schedule lately. I haven't been able to keep track of myself.
So, Alex, would you say that's kind of like your, mission statement or your goals as being like a guild master and a raid leader kind of thing?
No. I would say that that's just my normal outlook on World of Warcraft and the guild. Our mission statement is that we are going to be a mythic raiding guild in the top 10 for warlords, at least for our server, if not for our cluster.
Wow, that just
Nice.
gave me goosebumps, man. I want to give you a hug.
That's why we have two raid teams.
We'll keep all hugs to the end of the show.
Yeah.
So you guys are building up that second raid team and trying to get them ready so that you
Yeah.
can go into Mythic.
We want everybody to be 565 or higher when Warlords drops so that, we can just combine the two raid teams together and, swap out people that need to swap out if somebody, because we're going to have like
Four
four
tanks,
tanks,
yeah.
6 healers. That's kind of
You
a
guys
little
have-
much.
And I've raided with you guys for off and on for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
And you guys definitely have a great group. You guys are definitely making progress where, in all honesty, I thought you guys would halt at. Like a couple times that I went with you guys, I'm like, okay, they're going to be stuck at this one for a couple weeks. And then the 1 week that I didn't show up because I was recording this show last
Yeah.
week, you guys cleared something, and I'm like, oh, didn't think that was gonna happen so quick. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it
well.
definitely it's good because you guys are actually educating and you guys are building a team and family and
Yeah.
are really defining. You guys are the example of what I would call a great raid guild team.
Well, I mean, we're building a World of Warcraft community.
Yeah.
You know, we all know each other. Everybody in our guild knows each other to a certain extent. Everyone's welcome to get on the vent. Anybody's welcome to run with anybody else. You know, we constantly have 10, 20 people online, sporadically between 90s and people that are leveling 290. You know, to be honest, I need to do a little more recruiting. We need some more people. Actually,
Actually, I don't know if we've said this. What is your guild and what server are you guys on?
our guild is actually called Penumbra, and we are on Lightbringer, which unfortunately there's like 50 Horde tunes on Lightbringer. So, you know, it's like
Plenty of alliance to kill.
96% alliance.
Yeah, that
It's a
just
lot
means
of
that there's
fun.
plenty of them to kill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but isn't your battle group combined with Skywall and
Oh
all
gosh, don't get me started on the battle groups. Okay, so the battle groups really, I don't know if they've actually enacted it the way they wanted to, or if it even works the way Blizzard says it's going to. Because I mean, yeah, there's more people on the server, but there doesn't really seem to be, you know, the queue times seem to really have slowed down, which is kind of odd. There's no tanks, which kind of disturbs me that across 6 different servers there are no tanks queuing. That's BS completely. Like,
Yeah.
I sit in the queue for 10, 15 minutes as a healer.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I mean, as a healer, I've noticed that, depending on the day, even on primetime days, Friday night, Saturday,
Yeah.
I'm waiting upwards of sometimes an hour.
Yeah,
And
it's-
that's ridiculous because, the battle groups are what, 6 or 7 servers, and
Yeah.
there's thousands of people in each server, and there's not enough to run it.
Well, I actually, I kind of looked into that a little bit to try and figure out why queue times were so slow. And there apparently is some background, some techno mumbo jumbo going on in the background with the servers. There are actually individual queuing groups within the battle groups. So it's not actually like there's the battle group of the servers, and then there's almost like different queues within that. So when you queue, you get thrown into a pool, and it depends on how many people are within specific pools and what level you are as to which pool you go into. I found that out by finding out that that's how it works with pet battling. Certain people can't actually fight against each other in queue, no matter how many times you queue. Even if there's nobody else pet battling, if you and your buddy queue, if you're not in the same pet battle group, you will never find each other.
So it's basically just a random crapshoot at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about
That's stupid.
whatever. It has something to do with your BattleNet account. Whatever whatever your battle tag is, it ties it into whatever queue group.
And
you're
then
in.
you're also saying it bases it off item level and
Yep.
wow, that's dumb.
Well, I mean,
Well-
there's probably some reason why.
Hopefully, in these in this next expansion of WoD, Warlords of Draenor, that they'll actually be fixing some of these things. So actually, I want to bring it into the next segment here.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is where we're gonna see if you've been keeping up with your Warlord stuff.
Oh yeah.
So a couple things I just want to go through real quick. The alpha went live last Thursday. This last Thursday, I did not get in.
No, I actually did, but my beta key was used.
What?
Yeah, when I tried to use it, I actually downloaded, installed everything. When I tried to activate my beta key, it was like, oh, this one's already been activated. So I'm currently awaiting Blizzard to respond.
Wow, that stinks. That's like,
Yeah, it's like somebody killed my puppy.
Wow, that's extreme.
yeah. And Andre, you got into Heroes of the Storm, not Warlords, right?
No, I signed up for both, but I did get into the Heroes of the Storm
Yeah.
technical alpha. But I have noticed that once you start getting into the alphas for Blizzard, they kind of just start giving them to you more frequently.
Well,
So
I couldn't expect them to give you Warlords right now because
No.
you just got Heroes of the Storm and they want you to finish testing with
Yeah.
that.
I totally agree
So-
because I've already submitted a ton of bugs for Heroes of the Storm, and realistically, that's the most polished alpha I've seen. But then going back to Warlords of Draenor and watching the streams that you were showing me and certain alpha videos that we've seen, that is the ugliest alpha I've ever seen Blizzard
It
deploy.
is not pretty.
Nope.
So far, I was looking at some videos on the Blood Maul slag mines. It's one of the first dungeons you can do. I think it looks really cool. It's got some really cool mechanics to it. It's very active when you're playing, but in the alpha, a lot of the abilities just are like ghosts. They just roll through you. They don't do any damage to you right now. So the mechanics of them aren't actually implemented, but I think it's going to be great.
It's just like partial mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it spoiled it for me because, I mean, from where I'm coming from, and trust me, I have done my fair share of alphas. I mean, Steam's got early access games all over the place, and I'm more than willing to support third-party indie people for $5 here, $10 here, just to play some alphas. I'm a big supporter of that community. And then Blizzard starts doing their alphas, and they roll out Heroes of the Storm and even Hearthstone beta, and
That was fun.
it was. I mean, they were polished games. I mean, yeah, minor mechanical tweaks.
Yeah.
Then they give us this plate of crap.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty tore up, but
yeah.
they'll fix it, and I don't really want to talk too much about the quality of this alpha because I don't want to. I don't want to Hulk my way out of this chair. And I also don't want to blow up our guild Hangouts chat any more than I already did with the monks.
Yeah, please don't. Please, I'll unsubscribe.
So going down the list here just real fast to some of the things that I noted that I actually found interesting. Blizzard stated in a Twitter post that they're actually going to finish the repairs that the destruction Deathwing caused to Stormwind.
Wow.
They're actually going to finish the repairs in 6.0. So not in Warlords, but just before.
Wow. That's going to be interesting.
It's okay. It looks better destroyed anyway.
Too bad I don't have an Alliance tune to look at it with. Ha ha ha.
Well, just when you go and raid
For
it.
the Horde.
Yeah, so then...
You know what they should do, though? You know what they should do? They should make both or all the major cities where, you could, find capturable points like catapults and stuff and do actual city battles and destroy the city. And then it only resets on server week. So that way you can actually destroy...
No, because then I'm pretty sure all the Alliance on his server is just going to roll Ogremar.
Well, then that's his fault for being on that server. That's not my fault.
Okay, if they're going to do that, then they need to put in like personal railways for our awesome motorbikes that the Horde got.
Oh, that's right.
So that, we can just like jump onto our motorway and roll away from the Alliance.
No, I'm not saying that it's going to like totally be detrimental to the city. Like the Horde players can still do it, but just give it.
So like when you're playing Hearthstone and you can like click on the windows and break them, and you can touch the bucket and it falls down the well.
Yeah.
Like just like stupid little things like that.
No, but there's actually a point to it. Like if you get hit by a big old catapult, it's going to deal damage to you. But you, as the opposite faction, can also build up defenses against the on siege.
What was that place called? Hala in Burning Crusade?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, you're basically talking about Hala.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Blizzard's
never
already
mind.
tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, but that was also back in Burning Crusade. They've gotten a lot smarter since then.
Oh.
Have the players?
No.
Because it's all the community. So another thing that I wanted to bring in here, they revamped Space Chickens, or Boomkins.
Yeah, space chickens.
They revamped them, and from what I can tell, I've never played one, but they made the lunar and solar eclipse thing.
I can actually give
Just
a little
bouncing
summary on the, because I actually play a
Okay,
space
Go for it.
chicken,
Go for it.
balanced druid. Basically, we no longer have control over which eclipse we're going into, whether it be lunar or solar. The bar is going to automatically waver between the two, and you basically just want to spam whatever spell is the most powerful and whatever you're actually in.
Doesn't it like auto flip the spells for you? Like it'll replace it on the bar?
Well, it already does that with certain ones.
Okay. I
But-
thought I just highlighted them. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's basically just going to switch it up. It's going to be Starfire and Sunfire now instead of Starfire and Wrath.
Yeah.
So it's just it's some strange changes that they're making, but apparently it's going to make balance more fun. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was reading that they did it this way so that, because right now they're stating that to be a Boomkin, you have a difficult learning curve, and then the spec is easier to master, but it's hard to pick up.
Yeah.
And right now they want it the other way around. They want it easy to pick up, but hard to master. So I don't know if this is going to do that. I mean, I don't think we can really tell until we get our hands on the keyboard.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I thought it was a pretty decently hard to master class, just simply because you have to power yourself into the specific eclipses.
Yeah.
And it's always a struggle figuring out which one you want to go into first. It's almost like boss specific, which eclipse you want to go into, because certain ones, lunar's better for AoE, whereas solar is actually better for single target.
That's actually like an interesting mechanic, though. That's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty useful. So if the bar is going to waver back and forth, they're going to have to adjust all of the rest of the spells to make it balanced for AoE and single target on both ends. Maybe they'll throw in a couple procs, something that's passive that balances it out. So if you're single targeting this, then there's a chance for an AoE to proc when something else happens.
Gotcha.
But at the moment, I don't know. They kind of destroyed balance. I think it's just
they kind of bulldozed it. I agree.
They took out the ability to control what was going on.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. Like as a paladin, I definitely understand controlling my burst and controlling my class. So I definitely feel your pain. I understand.
Well.
So going on to some of the other things, storage space. I'm very much into this. So first off, void storage, adding a whole nother tab. So drop a ton more gold to hold more of your My Size Barbie dresses.
Oh, yes.
And then the other thing they're doing is personal bank tab. They're adding a reagent or like crafting material tab.
Yep.
And on top of that, they're increasing the stack size from 20. Like you can hold 20.
200.
Yes, to 200. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot less space. And then on top of that, they're adding the toy box.
Oh, my gosh.
They're going to free up so much room in banks in this expansion. So I think that's probably what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I hope I don't hear anybody complaining about not having enough space in the next expansion, because really, Blizzard's making it easy.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. And even like I was watching the alpha, and they had this quest where you had to plant a flag.
Yeah.
They don't put the item in your bag.
Yeah.
There's just a silhouette on the world map, like where you need to put the thing, and you right click it and it pops up.
Yep.
So they're even like removing quest items.
Yeah, it's actually
Not all, but probably some.
probably a lot of them, to be honest. There's so many little bugs that can happen with quest items. If a user just deletes something, or they have an add-on like Crap Away, where you can set it up to automatically destroy quest items.
Yeah.
And then they just open their bags to sell whatever crap they have in their bags, and boom, now they have to go back to wherever that quest started.
It's important to understand your add-ons.
Yes, indeed. Also, if you have a crappy gaming experience with low frame per second, check your add-ons.
Yeah, get rid of all those out-of-date ones. Make sure you uncheck that box, because that makes a huge difference.
Oh, yes.
So then also something I just learned today, I was watching some alpha streams on there. They updated Razor Foreign
Wow.
What is it?
I'm just gonna let you suffer. I don't know.
I think I'm just going to sit here and see if you can figure it
Razor
out.
Fen?
Razor Fen Downs.
Yes. Razor Fen Downs
Yeah.
and Razor Fen Crawl.
Crawl.
Yes.
Crawl.
They updated.
You're a horde player? Wait.
I don't. Dude, I click shit.
Whatever.
So they updated them. Go back, please. They updated them, and it most likely means that they're going to be doing heroic modes of these. They added new bosses. They closed off some areas so that you can't get to them anymore.
Oh, thank God.
I don't thank God. That's sad.
No, what are you talking about? I thought there was a lot of wasted space in those two dungeons.
I personally believe that all of the dungeons should be gigantic. It should take a long time for people to get through a dungeon, just so they don't feel that they need to accelerate their speed.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be something that you work through and you learn everything as you work through it. Not, all right, so let's just run through this as fast as possible, skip half of the trash here, skip half of this there. I mean, I don't know. Look at raiding these days. Nobody actually clears Siege.
No.
They clear the bosses.
Yeah.
You clear the trash
the
that's
only
required.
trash that I can think of that you have to clear is the Dark Shaman. Like when you first walk in there, you have to clear all that because you use all of that space.
So, I mean, like, Final Fantasy did something like that where they lowered the amount of mobs, but the trash mobs that were there were crucial for you to clear. Is that something you'd like to see in the future dungeons?
It's an interesting idea. Are you talking about 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because like some of the higher end dungeons you'd have a mob here, a mob there. I mean, it wasn't overbearing. I mean, it wasn't like you were
Yeah.
just slaughtering mob after mob after mob.
There were certain named mobs that you had to kill in order to get to the actual bosses.
Exactly, and that made it to where it seemed important to kill the trash. And I would like to see them add something like that. I mean, if they're redoing Razorfin Down and Razorfin Crawl, then that'd be kind of neat to see. Okay, well, unless I kill this named guy, this door doesn't open, so we can't move further. And give it a little bit more of a.
Well,
You know what that kind of reminded me of? Back in Oldham,
yeah, I
Where
was just about to say that.
Really?
Oh my God! Why am
You had
why
to
am I
go-
not thinking of this stuff?
back in Oldham, where you had to like build the staff before
Yeah.
you could fight that one boss. Like, so you had to go find it and kill trash to go get it. Like,
Well, I
when was
mean-
the last time they did something like that?
It's been a while. They started taking all of that out. Okay, so who remembers attunement?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so how many tunes did you actually have to attune?
A lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like almost every one of my tunes was attuned at a certain point in time because you had to be attuned.
Yeah, Molten Core. What is it? Blackwing.
Blackwing Depths.
Depths, you
Yeah,
had
and
to
then
be
the
attuned.
Spire. And it was just like, and I mean, Blizzard saw that so many people, like, I don't know, after the first two attunements, you kind of got used to it and just
Yeah.
did it. But I mean, so many people had so many issues with that. And they just decided, okay, well, fine, we'll just start taking this out of the game.
Well, see, that's
And
why.
attunements are what keep it basically lockout they have to where you have
Yeah.
to achieve so much reputation or achieve or complete some kind of quest chain to get access to a raid.
Yeah, so that you can actually clear end content.
Yeah.
It was almost like, and heaven forbid that they do this again, but it was a requirement for players before they could touch end game content.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Molten Core couldn't do it unless you tuned. Blackwing
Which,
Depth.
which kept all the bad players, basically.
Yeah, I mean that's
The
why.
people that didn't actually have interest in it and that were
Yeah.
just LFRing their way through stuff.
well, there was
basically.
no LFR.
Yeah,
back
there
in
was
vanilla
there was
day.
no LFR.
It
back
was,
then.
Right, but the mindset.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
spam your item level
Oh
and
my
stuff
gosh.
for hours to get it. That was the hardest part. But
I enjoyed it,
I don't
honestly.
mind that because I do transmog runs with Eric. We do Uldum every chance we get, and that is the funnest raid.
Old War.
Say thank you. Old.
I was gonna say.
Not
okay.
Uldum. Sorry, there's a lot of dungeons that sound really familiar. Uldware, and it's just a lot of fun, especially like some of the achievements, like Cat Lady achievements. Killing the.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
achievement hunting's always fun.
But that was fun for me, and I was really disappointed to see like Kata and Mr. Pandaria not even come close to adding in something like that.
The what?
You think? There's quite a few achievements for Miss Pandaria.
No, I'm not
that
talking
are-
about the achievements. I'm
Okay.
talking about the progression of the dungeon where you have to kill certain things to
Oh.
unlock.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm
No.
not a big achievement hunter. I'm talking about having a sense of progression in a dungeon.
Well, I mean, to be honest, in MoP, they kind of took away from dungeons. It was really only beneficial to run the dungeons for MoP one time and get the quests and do them. After
Yeah.
you had done them once, it was kind of like you didn't get enough experience from the mobs, and it was actually faster to finish questing.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I hated. I mean, it's like, for instance, you get one of the dungeons in Mr. Pandaria, and for instance, instead of just having quests, every time you go in there, you have objectives. All right,
Yep.
I got to kill this guy. All right, well, if I kill this guy, I get this experience. So let's say, for instance, some guy's like, oh my God, I have an emergency. I mean, it's a game. Your real life trumps game any day.
Well, yeah.
I have an emergency. Well, I completed 2 objectives. I still get some achievements. Maybe I get some gold. Maybe I get some items. I can disenchant him. But
Yeah.
But then you would put WoW on the same level with every other MMO. There's not very many MMOs out there that aren't actually doing stuff like that. World of Warcraft is one of few.
really,
Yeah, the actual, like, within the instances themselves,
Yeah.
Blizzard has always given the players and or the group itself the ability to do whatever they want while within the instance and choose whatever path they wish. If you started adding in specific points that people had to finish first, it could possibly, I don't know, it might actually draw away from the game because then it would make everything so much more mechanic. You would know that you would have to do this. Whereas, with certain things, like if they added in that mechanic and you had a tune that was maybe, let's say Stone Core, your tune's 84, you're in Stone Core, you're 95% of the way. You only have to clear this much of Stone Core in order to get that done. Well, if you're busy, running off one way to make sure that this guy gets dead, and you're not just booking it straight to, the actual the room right before all of the worshippers
Yeah.
that has, the Gromgar
Yeah.
crushers in it, That's actually the best room for experience. You take a 90 tank in there with anything that's 84 or 85 or below, and you grab up everything that's in that room, kill it all down, and you've got yourself like 30, 35% experience like that.
Wow.
Wow.
It's pretty easy. They might have nerfed it, but last time I was in there, they had not.
All right, so never mind that. That seems like it would be a step backwards then. I mean, I just want more of a sense of accomplishment in dungeons. That's all I'm asking.
I would really like to see, you know, more loot value. You know, like
Yeah.
we have mobs that drop, you know, silver and stuff like that. Well, why don't we have, you know, mobs that drop, you know, like specific, well, other items? Like you know how name mobs drop, you know, sometimes their specific rare item. Well, why can't we have, you know, like a specific rare item that only the Gromgal Crushers have, or only that this specific NPC possesses? It's a 0.01% drop chance, so you're not really going to see it very often. But then again, you're killing so many of that mob. See what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Any kind of humanoid that actually, you know, is in a dungeon that actually does a significant amount of damage to you, like the Crushers. They jump all over the place
Yeah.
trying to beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And, you know, it would almost feel worth it to me, and it would give other people a more of a want to run those dungeons repeatedly if there was another chance for gear.
Yeah. If there was something that's like a rare opportunity for someone to get, they will go after them. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there are plenty of achievement hunters. There are plenty of transmog hunters.
Oh, yes.
If you guys put something like that in there, they'll go after it. And speaking of something rare and achievement hunting and something people are going to be digging,
Yeah.
garrisons.
Whoa.
This week, there's not much has changed. We do have two things that I wanted to make note of. The first being, not the first thing I put on the list. The first thing being is that they actually put in the game that they're going to be releasing blueprints for anywhere between 1,000 and 5,000 gold.
Yep.
So if you're looking to get all the blueprints, start farming up some gold now.
Yep.
Start
Be
prepping.
ready.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna pay the gold farmer. Screw it.
I do feel, yeah, you'll get your account banned and then we'll never see you.
Yeah, just buy another one.
So one of the things that I do remember a long time ago, like when they first released this stuff, I remember a Twitter post or something stating that they weren't going to use gold for the currency on this, that they were going to use something else.
I remember
Is
that
anyone,
post.
Yeah.
It was going to be based on. They were going to kind of do it like a legendary thing, where it was going to be a combination of quests and you gathering items and you telling like the peons to build the thing, and then it was going to be time based and
Yeah.
yada yada yada. And now them changing into this thing, I could definitely see it being abused by.
I'm kind of curious if they're still going to stick to their word on that part. I would love for them, and guys, I would love for them to make gold worth something in this game again, because right now I buy my mount and then I'm just on the auction houses looking for deals. I would love for something in game to actually spend this currency on, because I think right now I'm sitting on like 60,000 gold with no idea what the heck to spend
What
it
the
on.
hell? Where's the money my way? Sometimes I need an extra 100 or here.
Yeah, when you transmog yourself over and then back and then over again because you forgot
I'm
you
talking
liked
about
it.
just buying gems. I can't afford gems, man. They're expensive.
Oh,
If
why
you
are you
ever-
buying gems?
Yeah, if you ever look in our guild bank, I have them stashed in there for you guys.
Well, I don't want to take them because I haven't. I felt like a mooch if I took. Okay, I don't look at me like
All
that.
right, I'm glad
Yep.
we ask questions in our guild. So your guild's doing pretty good, right?
Yeah.
No, so with garrisons, the other thing that I wanted to bring up is a little fun. It's just a little Easter egg in the game. There is a hat you can purchase that gets you in the groove. You do a little dance. We got it going on right here. It's a little better than what we're doing.
Yeah,
but
yeah. We saw.
They have a Congo line hat, a big hat with all the fruit on top of it.
Oh yeah.
And it gets all of the followers in your garrison to follow you in a conga line as
yeah.
you march around your place. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was pretty fun. I saw it on the alpha, or actually on MMO Champion. I saw a video of it. It's pretty entertaining.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So we're kind of running short on time here, so I'm going to kind of dig through some of these pretty quick.
Okay.
So some of the things I want to make note of, the 10-year anniversary is coming up this year. It doesn't look like it's going to be a Murloc. I don't actually believe it. I really don't,
I
because
thought every year was a Murloc.
every
No.
year has been a Murloc, and
I'm so tired of Murlocs.
I am too, but it's kind of just like iconic to me, because like Hogger, why
Yeah,
they're going to
I mean-
release a pet called Hogs.
Yeah, well, it's actually already confirmed on Wowhead.
Is it? It's
Yeah,
confirmed.
They've got Hogs already up, confirmed. It's the 10th
Lame.
year
He looks like
anniversary
crap, too.
pet. Yeah, it does.
It
But,
looks like they just
I mean-
downsized Hogger.
yeah, like it's a miniature Hogger.
Well, looks like I'm never
kinda-
playing that card in Hearthstone again, just on pure protest.
Yeah, it's. I was really
But do you
upset
guys
about
have any
that.
we're talking about 10-year anniversary. Do you two have any memorable moments you can think of? The one memorable moment, since we're short on time, just one.
Oh, dang! Just one. I gotta pick just one.
Just one, and it's not the one that you got knocked off the tree.
Crux of Wrath.
Crux of Wrath. What is
The
that?
top, the very top point in ICC when it wasn't nerfed, and we had a solid 10-man group that actually knew what we were doing, and we cleared ICC every Tuesday.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's
that's
impressive.
awesome.
That was.
Yeah.
That's probably the highlight of my WoW career, to be
Oh,
honest.
holy crap, man!
I would
Yeah.
love to be at that point again with Siege, and I think we
Oh, that
will
would be
get
awesome.
there.
I do too. I think you guys can definitely progress.
What about
to that
you,
point.
Eric? What do you got, man?
He got my brain thinking about Wrath, and I don't want to. Like for me, like when I killed Lich King,
Yeah.
I took like a 6-month break from WoW and came back one day, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go kill Lich King. You want in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So I jump in that night. I haven't played my character in 6 months, and we killed him. And I was like number 2 on DPS, and I was like,
wow.
"What the heck?" Like, I haven't killed Syndragosa. I haven't killed like the 3 leading up to him. I haven't killed them yet, but I've killed Lich King.
Yeah.
So.
So
But-
that's your most memorable?
No, I would have to say like my most memorable for me was Scarlet Monastery. I have a lot of fond memories of being like 38, and mind you, WoW was my first MMO. I didn't know what was going on. I picked a paladin. In my mind, paladins are the holy light kind of guys. I didn't understand specs, so I put all my talent points into holy, and then started chasing things around.
Sucker.
Started chasing things around, and I was wearing like leather and mail and cloth and just anything that had higher
Mother of
numbers.
God.
And I'm like, well, I need intellect, right? I'm a paladin. I used magic. I need
Yeah.
intellect, so I'm
Not
stacking all
back
this
in the
stuff.
day.
The moment that I realized that I was doing it wrong, I was running through. I was running for Transmog actually
Oh.
back in classic WoW, trying to get the Scarlet Monastery set. And it was all strength based. It was a strength based male set, and I put it on, and I'm like, why am I hitting harder? Why does this make more sense now? Like, why are things actually dying? And I'm like, oh, wait. These guys are casting this spell, and that spell is in the Retribution tree. Maybe I should be leveling as Retribution.
Yeah.
I think I got 44 levels before I realized Holy is not a DPS spec.
Yeah.
That's probably my memorable moment.
For me, real quick, and it's always going to come to my head every time, is when I first got into a serious raiding guild and we cleared Karazhan for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Karazhan was so fun
Yeah.
back in the day, especially with
Still
the
is.
random boss and the first time I killed the little big bad wolf and I got Despair as a Retribution Paladin, probably the
Yep.
best weapon you can get before you went on to any higher Burning Crusade stuff.
Yeah.
I still remember it. The curator, the mage guy. I don't remember some of the names, but the chess event when you actually had to do a full party. Now it's kind of lackluster because I can take my 90 mage or priest in their healing spec. I can just get on the king. Their king comes to me. I beat on their king. It's game over. I'm like, that removes all of the fun. But,
Oh, man.
yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, I have so many good memories of it. So, as we had also talking about making memories here, Azerothian choppers.
Why was there a vote?
God, this I was so disappointed with this series. The first like 4 or 5 episodes were just them talking to each other and like,
2
we need more.
weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's so bad. Oh, no, we lost somebody.
Yeah, we lost a guy. We're not going to be able to make it
How
in
can we
time.
make this chopper
Hey, let's
look like an ugly bug?
stop and play some WoW. And then, and then the designs that they came out with,
Yeah.
like it was. I understand what they were going for with the Alliance bike. I understand it, but they did not execute. Like there was way too many. If you look at plate armor, there's not that many layers spread out that far apart.
Yeah.
and
It was like chainmail with plate. It didn't make any sense. I mean, chainmail, because chainmail for armor is a naturally layered armor. You have multiple chains in a series. Plate mail is just supposed to be one massive piece of armor that you're supposed to kind of
minus
hop in.
joints and stuff. But yeah,
Well, come on, we're not getting too technical.
I don't know. I didn't like the Alliance bike at all, but I mean that's probably got something to do with the fact that I'm for the Horde.
Well, no, I mean, I was pretty
we
neutral
need to
on
do
it.
one
I
of
was
those
giving
for the hordes.
Yeah,
Before the show's over.
I was definitely getting, I was giving both bikes a chance, and then on the last, or I think it was episode 7, when they finally showed somewhat of the finished product.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think of is that looks like a beetle.
Yeah, it looked like the Encourage. It was like a shiny version of Encourage Beetles, and
Yeah, like the battle tanks.
I
right?
actually found someone that actually liked it more than the Horde bike.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
seeing the votes, seeing the landslide of votes for the Horde.
It made complete sense, but it was
totally
it was
get it.
very surprising that the Alliance doesn't have enough faction loyalty to still
Yeah.
choose their bike over the Horde one.
I don't know, man. Even if I was the Alliance and I saw that shiny bug,
Yeah, that's actually
it's a snowmobile, man. It's like what you and I were talking about last episode. It's a snowmobile bug that doesn't look like it could be offensive at all.
Even when they turned the motor on,
God,
it
yeah, it
sounded
sounds
like
like
a
a lawnmower.
snowmobile. Like I was like,
It sounded like a kitty cat of motorcycles. And then, granted there was some wiring issue, and then all of a sudden the Horde bike turns on, and I'm like, that's the bike that's gonna go into battle.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I was looking through the forums after they announced, the Horde won, and there was actually quite a bit of Alliance players that they literally voted Horde.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was about
There's
to say
no way
that,
they couldn't because the Alliance outnumbers the Horde.
Well,
yeah, because for instance, in
definitely.
the Asia continent with like China and everybody like that they got the game. If you look up the demographics, it's literally 50-50 Alliance and Horde. And when I saw
Really?
that, well, supposedly, I mean, they don't have the exact numbers.
But it's close.
I was data mining my butt off, and I've never done it before because when I saw those votes, I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
The last numbers that I saw for Horde versus Alliance, like across the world, it was like, I think it was like 58% to 42% or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very close though.
That's almost a 20% difference. Like Alliance has 20% of the
10%.
community.
Oh, Alliance was
10%.
higher. I thought it was.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
thought it
thinking
was
right now.
Horde higher.
No, Alliance is higher, and that's
Alliance
why
is
it's so
higher, yeah.
surprising that I mean I don't think they released like a number of actually how many votes went out, but it looked
No.
like 60-30.
Oh, of course they're not
60.
going to do that. Blizzard's not
My
stupid.
math is horrible right now.
Well, but you know what, man? You make a good point, though, on one of the slides we got here.
60-40.
Yeah.
Defiance Brotherhood is not it's not Alliance.
So so the swords, the cutlasses that they put on the side
Yeah,
of the bike.
Defiance Brotherhood cutlasses.
Yeah, that sword, that
Isn't
style.
that a pirate faction?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
a very
Alliance.
dominant sword in the Defiance Brotherhood, and then they put it on the Alliance bike, and I'm like thinking to myself, the Defiance Brotherhood, this faction that you put on this bike that's supposed to exemplify the Alliance, and Varian Wren, you used his swords as the handles.
Is rolling over in his grave right now.
Yeah, well, Tiffin, his wife that died
Yeah.
because the Defiance Brotherhood went nuts on the town and hit her with a rock. Anduin's mother that passed away.
Yeah,
Holy
it's-
crap, lore fiend.
No, I mean I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
It actually the Azerothian choppers were supposed to exemplify the heart of their faction,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, I feel that the Horde was the only side that really did that.
Yeah.
Well, but
The Alliance bike is kind of a joke.
You know what I think why that happened, and you always see it when a team is down or in a position of being kind of backed into a corner, i.e. the Horde being down one teammate, you kind of see the other two guys, it's weird. You see them pick up the pace, you see them pick up their creativity, you see them pick up their strive for excellence.
So you're saying we only need 2 people on the show?
No, but I'm saying it's like in most reality shows, the one team that's always down in a reality show seems to win predominantly.
Well, that's just because they edit the footage.
Yeah.
I know.
they probably had somebody else come in. But yeah, I mean, Azeroth Choppiers. Oh, another thing pissed me off. We're watching the episode, and I'm like, this is cool. So this bike will go in Warlords of Draenor.
Oh God. Yeah.
How are you going to release
just-
this series now when
they
you
just
you
slipped that in
recorded it
there.
like 4 months ago?
Oh, I know.
It was so
And
great.
And then they to tell us that we are not going to get it for another 6 months.
I couldn't believe it. I was watching that and I was like, oh my God, the Horde won, yeah! Like, started screaming to the high heavens. And then he's like, and you'll get the bike in Warlords of Draenor. It's like, no!
I distinctly remember Twitter feeds, MMO champion feeds, WoW had
Yeah.
pretty much everybody saying that when the bike gets voted, you get it like the next
Immediately.
month.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
right, because they need time to
just
wire
put it into
map
the
it and
game.
code it and put it into the game.
Oh,
But
it's
they were
already
saying-
wire mapped.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that, but what I'm saying, they were gonna say like the next month the winner gets a bike, and they said without a doubt the loser is not gonna get the bike. Too
Yeah.
bad. And that was the first time I've ever actually seen them stick to their guns. By the way, on that.
Yeah.
We'll see about when they
yeah.
actually release it.
Oh
You s-
please God,
no,
I do
no,
not want to
they're-
see that Alliance bike.
they're gonna do it.
No.
There's-
No, it's
I can't
there's already
see-
talk in the forums about
oh my
it
God.
from
It
Blues.
looks so bad. I
Like-
don't see any Alliance player writing that thing. They're
I-
gonna waste their time.
I don't.
If I can
don't
find,
really care.
If I can find the link while I'm here, we can throw it up on the YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, on the upload. But
I
there was
don't want
actually.
to taint. I don't want to.
You know what? You know what I want? Like, if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna let them have the Alliance chopper, I want like a dismount button for like mine, to where I can like, if I see
But-
someone riding it, I can ram them and it knocks them off of it.
Oh well, I mean, we already have the turtle shell.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I
No,
love
but
that
see-
shell.
I'm gonna carry that thing around.
See, with
I
all this
love
effort
it.
in the bikes, though, I'm really hoping they add in some sort of jousting PvP minigame.
Oh gosh, there's already that too. Ardent tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's got to be. I want it with the motorcycle. No, or
picky.
Yeah.
I am
yeah.
pretty picky.
Anyways, guys, so we're gonna move on here because we're kind of running short on time. I gotta plow through this.
Yeah.
So professions, Warlords of Draenor. There's been some release on it. There was a guy, Wanna Buy Gold, WTB Gold. He released a video about the professions and how they're gonna change in Warlords of Draenor. He has right there at the top of the screen here. He has Warlords of Draenor Alpha Professions Alchemy First Look. And in that video, he discusses how they're going to start using multiple crafting material for things, such as instead of alchemy just using ore for transmutes and herbs for all their other potions and everything, they're actually going to start using fish, ore, and herbs to create their normal things. Also, when you go into Warlords of Draenor and you go there, you don't just go purchase a skill that gets you from 600 to 700 that allows you to increase your skill. It's actually an item that you'll find when it drop off one of the mobs that you're
Yep.
fighting. So it's definitely a really cool.
Yeah, there's no more just being able to, like in MOP, you could just go and boost your characters to max level professions.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
actually have to kill everything.
Yeah. Then going on to the next thing. Like I said, I'm going to plow through this here real quick. Due to Trevor not really being here, we haven't really got too much information on PvP, but we're still going to go into the arena. And this week, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know D Machine 52, a guy that I plugged last week. He's still working on his series for a black screen for a know your enemies style of gameplay or information. What he's doing is he's creating videos. They're probably 5 minutes apiece, and each video will discuss the traits of a class that you should be concerned about when you're PvPing. Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's lost cause.
So what will happen is you go check out the video. He'll be like, hey, deterrence on a hunter, he'll do it this many times. This is how he reactivates it.
Yep.
These are the things you have to be concerned about. He currently has 4 different classes up right now. He has Hunter, Mage, Warrior, and Resto Druid. I don't know how you're going to kill a Resto Druid
Very carefully.
if you're going 1v1s.
Impossible.
Not really.
But yeah, so check him out, D Machine 52 on YouTube
And of course, we'll have all their links and stuff on our YouTube page. So
in the description below. So, guys, I want to thank you for checking out Just Another WoW Show. And again, you can go ahead and contact us at justanotherwowshow@gmail.com with any questions or concerns. You can check out our replay of this entire video on YouTube. The channel is Just Another WoW Show. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go ahead and check us out live on twitch.tv. It's _Jaws. every Sunday around 11 a.m. Arizona Standard Time.
Around.
Yeah, we haven't started on time once, but it's still pretty close. This week was probably the closest. It was 11:30 we
Oh
started.
yeah, only half an hour.
Yeah, only 30 minutes. So go ahead and check us out. It's_Jaws, 11 a.m. Arizona Standard Time on Sundays. And if you're in another time zone, you got to figure it out. My math's been horrible this entire time. So I think it's 3 hours or 2 hours. I don't know, daylight savings time thing. But Alex, want to thank you for coming on the show, man. Really appreciate it. And you want to go ahead and plug your guild again?
Yeah, definitely. If anybody wants to make a tune on Lightbringer, switch to Lightbringer. Transfer your tunes to Lightbringer. Come on over to Lightbringer and join Penumbra.
It's not
level
worth it.
25 Horde Guild.
The Horde.
It's not worth it, guys.
What do you mean it's not worth it?
What are you talking about?
I'm
you
just
talking
kidding.
about?
I'm just
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh God, don't date ourselves here, man. Come on.
Well, okay.
Well, I want to leave this show on a For the Horde note. You ready?
Indeed.
Ready?
For the Horde! Yes!